I want to thank Dr. Jonathan Javitt for his patience. We have the leaders in the world that come on this show. It always amazes me. Now we have the founder and chief scientist of NRx Pharmaceuticals in Miami, which we'll be to in a couple weeks down there. I'll be speaking at a CEO summit and having a meetup at Rick Macy's Academy. He's the coach of Serena Williams, Venus Williams, Roderick Capriati, who's in the movie King Richard, if you didn't check it. But moving along, pharmaceutical space is complex and influential. So I want to have Dr. Jonathan Javitt here with us. Welcome to Office Hours.
David, it's great to see you.
Great to have you here. There's so much in the manufacturing and legality of pharmaceuticals. And obviously you have worked your way through, this process, which takes a lot of money and a lot of time. We were talking 10 years, Mike, that he was working on getting the Pro Bowl to Orlando or whatever. To create a legal ketamine product, how long has it taken you and how much money does it take to help so many people struggling with bipolar depression and acute suicidal tendencies?
Well, in our case, we actually never intended to create a legal ketamine product. We thought others were going to do it. We expected that others, and this is sort of well known in the stock market, were going to come in with nasal ketamine products that were going to be safe and effective for stopping suicidal ideation, and we'd be coming in behind that with a safe oral pill that would maintain that effect. And of course, we're continuing to develop that pill, and we hope that it'll be available to people pretty quickly. But then we suddenly found ourselves in a situation where the idea of delivering ketamine as a nose spray just didn't work, and there's this huge vacuum where people are buying ketamine from compounding pharmacies. FDA's warned against that practice. And we said there needs to be a safe and legal form of ketamine available because this is a life-saving drug. And what we did is partnered with the government of France that had just done a brilliant study in 7 hospitals showing a statistically significant effect, which is what the FDA requires, ketamine versus placebo. And we partnered with Columbia University that had just done an equally brilliant study, showed the same thing to a high degree of certainty. So, with those 2 partnerships in place, we've got a portfolio that we plan to submit to the FDA in March in support of new drug approval. Now, the work that we've done, of course, is on the manufacturing side, because ketamine is a 70-year-old drug. The form of ketamine that people use today, was put into a bottle 50 years ago. Wasn't necessarily put into a bottle to the manufacturing standards of 2024. And we've been doing that work together with a brilliant partner in West Columbia, South Carolina, a woman-owned business called Nephron Pharmaceuticals. That's how we've put this together. It's not a standard drug development project in the sense that we haven't spent 10 years in the laboratory. We've been able to pull this together, pretty quickly because there's this extraordinary public health need.
Dr. Jonathan, I do interventions with, especially now with fentanyl, it's out of control. And a lot of people don't understand that the therapeutic and the detailed work with ketamine under the right setting it really helps a lot of people that suffer with trauma and that do have mental health issues. How do you produce something like this, and how does it not go into the marketplace? Unfortunately, you can't control the marketplace and not get out of control. There's always good intention. Like, I know a friend of mine that takes fentanyl patches. She has to, but then the fentanyl gets out of control. So is there a way to try to monitor how it's distributed, how it's manufactured, so it doesn't get out of control in the street use?
Mike, that's an amazing question. I have to admit, you're the first person who's asked me that question. One of the things that we've done in our development work with Nephron, with Lou Kennedy's company, is every single vial. First of all, it's a it's a single patient vial. It's not a multi-dose vial as you would use in a hospital operating room for anesthesia. Every single vial is microchipped, and we can't guarantee that somebody's not going to take a sledgehammer and break open a drug safe and steal a bunch. But we do know that if DEA or law enforcement finds a bunch, they'll be able to trace exactly where that vial came from and every place it has been prior to the diversion.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, doctor is amazing. And we were talking earlier with the former CEO of Blockbuster and 7-Eleven. I don't know if we were listening in, Jim Keyes, and he was talking about education being freedom, and people's meaning of freedom is so different, but our access to education is different as well. And coming from someone like you that has been educated at the highest level, and that education, whether it be from Princeton or Cornell,